My name is Kat, and today I'm doing my October book haul. So I feel like I haven't done a book haul in a while. It was like the end of August, beginning of September that I did my last one, and then a whole bunch of books came out in September and October. So I have a pretty good sized haul today. I have 20 books to show you guys. So let us commence with the showing. So first off, I want to mention Illuminae by Amie Kaufman and Kristoff. This is actually the arc that I got at BEA because I haven't gotten around to getting a real copy yet. But this arc is beautiful. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, it's hardcover and it's cool. I'm very excited about reading this one because it looks cool, it sounds cool, and I've just heard nothing but good things from people who have already read it and authors who've blurbed it, and I feel like this is gonna be a real good one. And just in case you missed the announcement, Illuminae is the November book of the month for BOOKSPLOSION. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading this one very soon here, and if any of you guys want to join in on the read-along fun and the live show discussion, I will leave all of the relevant info down below in the description. Next up, I have here Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series, and I did already read and review this like the moment it came out, so I'll link that video down below if you want to check it out. I loved this book though, definitely one of my favorite books of the year. It was my favorite book, and then I read something else which I'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, I love this book and I've been waiting to haul it for a while. I keep getting comments that are like, where's Queen of Shadows? And I don't put the books into my shelf until I've hauled them. So now I'm hauling it, and then I will put it where it lives in the shelf. I also finally purchased Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas with the matching cover. This is the original cover that I first bought a long time ago, and then they redid the cover so it matches, and this one is so much nicer, and now my whole collection is going to match, and it's gonna be beautiful. Next up, I have here Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is another September release, and another book that I've also already read, though this one I read much more recently, like I just finished it. So I'll talk about it more in my October wrap-up in a few days, but basically it's this badass heist novel set in a really cool world with a fantastic cast of characters. It was just so good. And this was actually the BOOKSPLOSION Book of the Month pick for October, and the live show has already happened. So I'll link that down below if you've read this book and you want to watch that and hear all of the thoughts and opinions. But yeah, this book was just fantastic, and can we take a quick minute to appreciate how cool the pages are? They're like edged in black. It looks cool, and the insides are cool. It's a real cool book. Then I have here The Copper Gauntlet by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. Another September release that I have already read, and I talked about this one in my September wrap-up, so I'll link that below if you want to hear a little bit more of my thoughts and what this is all about. But I really enjoyed this, and I'm really enjoying the series so far, especially because it keeps going in unexpected directions, and I love it when books keep me on my toes. Then I have here Saga Volume 5 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Another September release that I read in September and that I talked about in my September wrap-up, so again, that's linked below. But I love this series. I love it so much. It is by far my favorite comic series, and now I have to wait for Volume 6, but maybe not. I might start reading the issues as they come out, because, again, I love it so much. Next up, I have here A Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs. This is the 3rd and final book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children trilogy, and it also came out in September, though I have not yet read this one. I'm currently reading it. I'm not very far, I'm only like 50 pages in, but I'm currently reading it. Next up, I have here some books that all came out on October 6th. which was just an amazing day for book releases and book news, and it was overwhelming with awesomeness. I have here Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling, the illustrated version, which is gigantic and gorgeous, and I'm so looking forward to reading this probably around Christmas time because that just feels right. Then Stephanie Meyer went and pulled a Beyonce and just dropped Life and Death on us, which is Twilight retold with all of the genders swapped. Like, the human is a boy and the vampire is a girl, and this just came out of nowhere. Where were you when you first heard about Life and Death? I was asleep in my bed and Christine started pounding on my door, like freaking out, and I like woke up briefly and was like, what's happening? And then I went back to sleep and I thought it was a dream, but when I woke up in the morning, it was real! I can't believe nobody knew about this. Like, how did this not leak? How did this news not get out? Anyways, I have already read this and I'll be talking about it more in my October wrap-up in a few days here. Also, on October 6th, we got Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, Book 1, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in his series that focuses on Norse mythology, but it wasn't the biggest thing to happen in regards to Rick Riordan on October 6th, because he also announced a new series that's going to follow the god Apollo, who is actually no longer a god. He's been turned into a mortal 16-year-old boy. I haven't read this one yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it, and I'm also looking forward to the Apollo series, which is coming out next spring. Also released on the magical day of October 6th was my new favorite book. And I don't say that lightly. Like, I mean, this is my new favorite book, and it is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I have read this book 5 times now. That's not an exaggeration. There's a bookmark in it from my current reading, although my current reading is actually listening to the audiobook, which I purchased so I could still read this while doing other things like driving. So yeah, I love this book. I'm borderline obsessed with this book. And maybe borderline is the exaggeration because, like, I've read it 5 times. Anyways, I did do a full book talk for this book, so I'll link that below, and I will be talking about it more in my October wrap-up in a few days, and I'll probably be talking about it more in many videos to come because, like I said, it's my favorite book. Then I have here Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith. This is the 3rd book in the Cormoran Strike series, and I actually have the first 2 books in ebook format, but I decided that I wanted to start collecting the hardcovers, and I didn't care that they were far more expensive than the ebooks because I want them. I'm really enjoying the series. Not only are the mysteries so intricate and mysterious, but the main characters of Cormoran and Robin, I'm very attached to them, and I can't wait to see what goes on in this book. Then I have here some books that I received from Penguin. First is The Rose Society by Marie Lu. This is the 2nd book in the Young Elites series trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. I really enjoyed the first one, especially how dark it was, and I'm really excited to see where things go in this next installment. Penguin also sent me some Halloween-type books. So I have here Nightfall by Jake Halpern and Peter Kujawinski, and The Accident Season by Maura Fowley Doyle. I did talk about both of these in my scary, spooky books video, so I will link that down below if you want to know more about the synopsises here. And they also sent me Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, which is an anthology collection of scary horror stories by many authors that was edited and put together by April Genevieve Tutchell. Then I have here In the Shadows by Kirsten White and Jim Debartolo. I love Kirsten White's writing. I've read almost all of her books, and I love Jim Debartolo's art style. He did the art in Lips Touch by Laini Taylor, and it's beautiful. Illustrations! Ooh, tigers! And what I think is most unique about this book is that it's not just that the illustrations go along with the story, but sometimes there's just sections that are only illustrations, and the illustrations illustrations are telling the story, and I just think that sounds really cool. Then I have here The Dark is Rising, the complete sequence by Susan Cooper. This is a complete series. I believe it's 4 books in one big bind up here. I follow Maggie Stiefvater's Tumblr, and she was talking about this series and how she really loves it, and it kind of inspired her when she was writing The Raven Cycle, and I love The Raven Cycle, so I went on Amazon, I saw this bind up at a reasonable price, and I bought it. And finally, I have 2 books here that I received as gifts. First, I have here Hold Me Closer by David Levithan, and I received this at the Miss Peregrine's event in Atlanta, Georgia earlier this month from Peyton Loves Ashton. So thank you so very much. I loved Will Grayson, and I can't wait to read Tiny Cooper's musical. And then I have here Seriously, I'm Kidding by Ellen DeGeneres, and this was a gift from Angela. I love comedy nonfiction, and Ellen DeGeneres is hilarious, so I'm really excited to get to this. Thank you again, Angela. Alright, there you have it. Those are all the books I had to show you, and that is gonna be it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great night, and I will have another video up soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye!